Listen, first and foremost, I wanna thank Lavish Life Magazine for actually coming through. I want to get that out the way, man. You know, it's crazy because a lot of times in this industry, you establish relationships with individuals, and you may not never see their face. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that we were able to put that face to it. My name is Terrell, Blair. I started out in the game like in 1999, 2000. I put out my first urban rap DVD called Hood Life Cypher DVD. And that was based off of individuals that, growing up, in those days, man, with battling, you couldn't go to certain individuals' blocks and shit, you know what I'm saying? Me being from the Bronx, man, I was able to bring a slew of individuals together from all different boroughs, man, and we had like a community center. And at the time, we wasn't thinking about filming, we just wanted to have fun, you know what I'm saying? And we had hot 8 tapes at that time, you know what I mean? 99, them shit, fucking tapes was this big and shit, And we decided to put a DVD out. So that DVD was our first regarding our cypher. So we originally started out as battle rap, you know what I mean? But there was no money involved. It was just about the soul, you know what I mean? It was just about giving back. It was about the culture. And the money was just the fact that we shook each other's hands, you know what I mean? So borough to borough, hood to hood, it was a beautiful thing. And as time began to progress, man, I learned a lot about the distribution game. So I started figuring out how to do certain things and started getting distributed in like over 30 states, you dig? And at that time, like around 2000, I want to say 2005-ish, I bled off into a new realm of what we had going on a DVD side. We started doing crack DVDs. Crack DVDs was based off of individuals that had a nice strong buzz. Made no never mind if he was from Texas, if he was from wherever. If he had a strong buzz, but he wasn't yet there, we would play the game of interviewing him, and we would actually put him on the cover. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward 2000, it's 2016. I put out 25 DVDs, which, like I said, they were distributed in over 30 states independently. And throughout that time, man, I started doing a host of other things, consulting. But when DVDs begin to start falling to the wayside, man, I got nervous. I ain't gonna lie, because you acquire some type of status. You know what I mean? Right. So internet came in. Internet, man, kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, it was around or whatever, but it was instant gratification. So when we were capturing footage, we were the individuals that had that instant gratification. So when the internet, more of them get put up something tomorrow, you'd be like, oh man. So it killed us for a second. So I said, what will I do? Evolution is a mouthflower. So I started getting into shows, We started doing shows throughout the city, actually. But we never strayed away from our concept. The concept was always to focus on the up-and-coming artists. And when you focus on the up-and-coming artists, a lot of times that leaves room for everybody else to say, nah, we're gonna get the bigger artists. So I bled off into doing shows. So like about 3-4 years ago, we started doing shows. And like I told you, the concept remained the same. From the DVDs, we wanted to focus on individuals that had an independent grind, but also can still bring the audience. If you notice, when people do shows, a lot of times anybody can do a show. Everybody calls me Terrell. I'm a headliner, but reality is that you're not a headliner. So when you put that pressure back on the headliner to also say, this is how we're gonna do this, man. We're gonna partner up, and if they come out for you, then we know that there's a potential for us to have a great show. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to call a bigger dude. That's easy. But they got like 10 artists that's there. But 1 million artists that's coming up, man. And if you don't give them that chance, we never know what can occur, actually. You know what I mean? And like I said, once again, being from the Bronx, man, there's a slew of different artists coming out, man. So the beginning of this year, man, I said, I'm gonna take a chance, man, and I opened up with Dice Pesos. Dice Peso went well, man. It's like 400 plus here. So as we continued on, I said, Hattie's been doing this thing for years, man. I knew him since he was younger. He was on some of my DVDs, man. And I decided to say, let's focus on Hattie, And that's what we do. Next month we have OMP. The following month we got Loaded Lux. That's going to be another series, which is the I'm not just a battle rapper series, and I'm gonna just keep it going, man. But not only just here in the Bronx, but all throughout the boroughs, and just eventually, bleed out to a host of other states. You know what I mean? And stick with the staying concept. I think what happens too now is that as you get old, as I get older, whatever, dudes get older and they stray away from it. Man, nah, man, I can't fuck with that hip hop, man. I love it. I love the culture. I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything that's spaced out, I rock to it or whatever. But reality, I love it. I love what it does for the communities. I love that it bridges gaps. You know what I'm saying? It brings all nationalities together, man, and it brings the thuggest of the thuggest motherfuckers together. You know what I'm saying? When you got Bloods, you got Crips, you got this, and they come together as a unity about this music, that's powerful. Man, I appreciate y'all. Lavish Life Magazine. Listen, I'm glad I put a face to the movement. Let's have some fun. I'm tired. I gotta keep on keeping on. They looking at me and shit, so